Howdy, folks. It is a Tuesday, and we are racing in Johannesburg today. It's a rare meeting because whilst there are a few extra meetings in Joburg in August, the original schedule, Lyall Cooper, good morning, didn't have too many Joburg meetings because the idea was that we'd be in a bit of a shutdown period to give people time to rest, relax, and take it easy. But in these economic times, that was not going to be a viable option.
No. So just as well, it worked out well. We've got a few more race meetings.
We've got a few more race meetings that are like hen's teeth, the Joburg meetings, but at least we're racing. The fields aren't big, but we're going racing today. You and I will both be there. So we've got a great clock and gallop representation of the course today for racing 240. And the Hardy Dars agree. The first race is a hashtag This Is Racing welcomes you maiden plate over 12 meters. We're going to get Lyall's thoughts on it in a moment, but let me just tell you in race 1, number 3, Drop Off Time is out. Number 2, Desert Fox, Alamites in front, Unshot behind, and Earmuffs go on. Number 4, Kalahari Blue. The track condition, by the way, is good, and there's been no rainfall in Joburg in the last 7 days. So let's go to the betting. I just wanted to take you to that betting and have a look. And whilst I do that, I wanted to thank trainer Johan Jansen van Vuren because I reached out to him earlier on today, and I just asked him for his comments because he does obviously hold the key to this particular race. Let's look at the betting. The favorite is the newcomer, number 5, Puerto Plata, who's at 11-10. Drop of Time is now out, but that was the second favorite in the market. And with the absence of that, it looks like Desert Fox is next best at 9-2. And then Johan's other runner is Kalahari Blue at 5-1. Sky Velocity, by the way, down at the bottom, is another of the Van Vuren runners in at 4-1. So basically, I mean, anyone that looks at this say, well, Johan Van Vuren is well represented. And I asked him, I mean, he's obviously put these horses in to keep this race alive. If it wasn't for him, this race wouldn't have stood its ground, and therefore we wouldn't be having this race. So he's put this field in the race, or this race in, or this field, these numbers of horses in to keep it going. The point is that when I asked him how good some of these horses were, he said it's hard to tell because Puerto Plata's clearly looking for further on the pedigree side, but you know, it could get away with it because of the weak nature of the field. His filly down the bottom, Sky Velocity, he said, is working really well. He says that she's really showing some good work at home and she could pop up, but the draw's not good around the stern at Turffontein. So it does, the key is obviously what Johan Jansen van Vuren does in this race, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks for speaking to you. And that's very important to me. It's Johan Jansen van Vuren versus Barend Boters and Yolandi Vosloo. The comment that we got about Desert Fox, Nico, was from Barend, speedy. And Barend doesn't often say that. So that's good news. Pierre Stradum takes the ride. So I do make that the danger to the Van Vuren stable. But, you know, when I looked at this, of course, Porto Prato is Porto Manzano's brother. And I was there on debut when Porto Manzano dead heated with his stablemate, thumbs up.
Yes.
But I know that it was too short. They were looking for much further. So, sure, it's not a strong field, but I'm going to take on Porto Plata with its stablemate number 4, Kalahari Blue, the son of Kawari. You've chatted to Johan about this one. He did say in the computer form, smart horse, could place, drawn 6, earmuffs go on, and the mare, of course, was with Leon Erasmus, the very talented Go Indigo, who won 8 races. So for me, Kalahari Blue, if he's in good health and he's ready, that's the one for me. From Porto Plata, you got some nice positive comments from Sky Velocity, but I'm also going to just watch the betting and have a look at Desert Fox on track there with Pierre Stradum aboard.
Absolutely. I see that comment in the computer form is speedy, and you have to take into account that Pierre Stradum is riding for that stable today. Yeah. They go back a long way to Barend and Pierre. They rode together, and he has the utmost respect for Striker, does Barend. Just going back to Johan's comments, both these horses do very well on their sand work, Puerto Plata and Kalahari Blue. He said they really work well on their sand track. Their turf work isn't as good, but then again, they have to start their career somewhere. I'm just saying the weakness of the field Lyall, that maybe Puerto Plata might just get away with it. You know, good horses tend. We go back to Puerto Manzana. You brought it up. Not that they're related, but the sire of this Puerto Plata manipulator is more distance orientated than the sire of Manzana, who was Sikh again. What I'm trying to say is that good horses can get away with winning over distances short of their best. And in such a weak field, this horse might just get away with it.
Might do that. Yep, I'm going to take him on with the 4 horse. You're going with the 3, but we're both leaning towards, of course, the Van Vuuren stable.
Yeah, I think the Van Vuuren stable is the one to follow there. And thanks very much to him again for his comments. Let's go to race 2. The start of the bipod with 9 races today. The bipod starts in race 2 at 10 to 1. It's a classified stakes. It's over 1,800 meters. Here's the betting, Lyall. Before I go to the betting, there are no changes. So here, the favorite is Pottinger and Sir Talon. In fact, those are the top 2. So Sir Talon is 2 to 1 and Pottinger is 9 to 4. So very little to choose between them. And then you've got Cool Baikal at 7 to 2. Now, Rachel Venneker has come up for Paul Peter again today. She's had a slow start to the new season. I think she's picked up a couple of wins. But she had a bit of a rocky end to the end of the last season. So hopefully today she's in good winning spirit. So what do you fancy here?
Well, I was just speaking to Rachel the other day, by the way, and she was joking about since she's got the 1.5, she hasn't had as many winners. But tongue in cheek, she'll be back and she'll get those winners. And Nico, I thought this was an open race, and I'm going to take on both the favourites with number 6, Toto's Dream, who's the best weighted horse in the race, the daughter of Duke of Marmalade for the Aussie team. Diego de Gavea steps up to the 1,800 meters here, and I wrote you out to the 18. It's a definite runner if going over the trip here. From that last form line, Halloween and Princess Philippa have won. The penultimate form line, there have been 5 winners from the Emerald Princess form line. She's got 55.5 kilograms. The draw of 7 not worrying me, so I think she's the value in the race. Just going to lean in and see the price. 8 to 1, I like that. And then, of course, Pottinger is running so well, goes in second with a very much informed Cabello Mazzagnani and a draw of 1. And number 4, Sir Talon, has to be taken very seriously with the 1.5 kilograms off. So 6, 3, 4. But I also gave chances to horses like King Arthur and Cool Baikal. I think it's tough, Nico.
Yeah, it's a smallish field, but you rightly say, because of the fillies and mares sex allowance here of 2.5 kilograms, that's why Toto's Dream does come well in. As you quite rightly point out, Cabello Mazzagnani has come out of the gates absolutely flying. 3 winners yesterday afternoon in Durban, and he's riding with such confidence. So I believe if you're sticking with Toto's Dream, as you quite rightly said, I think the right horse is Pottinger of the 2 favourites, of the 2 Paul Peter runners. I prefer Pottinger to Sir Talon. So we may get those few runners in the start of the bike.
Yeah.
Make sure that you put a few in it. It looks a bit tricky. It doesn't look as clear cut as one would want. Okay.
It wouldn't be a shock to see something else winning, Nico. It wouldn't be a shock at all. And I must just mention Cabello Mazzagnani. We've given him the name Magician. The magician, because if you watch him when he rides with his white gloves, everyone must just take note how he's very handy with his hands. He's got good hands, and with those white gloves, you can see it from quite far. So the magician, I think, is a nice fitting name for him.
Okay, well, we'll watch that today when we're calling from the commentary box. Pay particular attention to his gloves and how he changes his stick. There's quite a few guys that can't change their stick, but I won't name them on air.
No. No,
that would be unfair. Okay, the third race starts with the place accumulator. By the way, Lyall, we've opted from a clock in the gallop perspective to take a bet with our PA today. So I want to know what you're putting in the PA. So it'll be interesting to know, because we've done the PA with Neil, and I'm sure that normally we're on the same page there. So race 3 kicks that off at 13.25. It's a maiden handicap over 2,000 meters. You can scratch number 3. It's a late scratching Pink Diamond has come out. So Pink Diamond now is a non-runner in the third race of the day. There's lots of money here for Main Mission, number 5. It opened 9 to 2. It's 5 to 2 now. So the money has absolutely flooded in for Main Mission. It is joint favourite with number 1, Clap of Thunder, at 5 to 2. And then you've got the Inkosana at 4 to 1 and Flow Forever at 8 to 1. Let me get your thoughts here.
Open again, Nico. You know, if you look at a horse like Main Mission, who's all the money is coming for, he's actually held by number 1, Clap of Thunder, on the last run, but he is bred for this trip, so that'll be interesting. I'm actually going against the grain here. I'm going number 7, Rosalind, a 3-year-old filly with Jeff Saister. Yeah, for Robin Clarkson. I like those last 3 efforts there. And 2,000 meters, 52 kilograms. I wrote here, watch out. The mare did one up to 1,800 meters, and I thought this is the real value in the race. Much respect for number 1, Clap of Thunder, with Cabello riding so well at the moment. Number 4, Global Breeze. I think this is a bit of a runner. Waited to beat number 1 in the last run. Take note of that. And then number 2, Flow Forever, I think is a big runner as well here. And I'm also going to, of course, mention Inscorsana and Main Mission. But if I had to go top 2 here, I'd go Rosalind and Clap of Thunder.
I think our common horse here has to be Clap of Thunder. Now, got the cheek pieces on, inform rider Cabello Mazzignani, but more importantly, I thought distance question mark, right?
Yes.
Until I went to have a look and see what the family have done. And I was quite happy that maybe the reason why he's not winning is because he needs the trip. So I'm prepared to say that Clap of Thunder might be more effective over 2,000 meters plus. Not the most difficult of 2,000 meters on the inside track. It would have it been the stand side track, but I think it's a nice place to test that theory. And Brett and James are running pretty well at the moment. So our common horse has to be Clap of Thunder. And I thought Clap of Thunder would be the horse to beat over here. Looking at the money for Main Mission, obviously you have to respect it, don't know where it's coming from, but it isn't a joint favorite. And then, as you quite rightly say, Rosalind comes in with no weight on her back. She's carrying just 52 kilos. She ran in a work riders last time up, but she's got the beating of Sassy Below in the card on that run. I'm prepared to accept that she might just be the kicker here, Rosalind, number 7.
Good.
Okay.
Competitive.
That's the third race. Competitive, not clear cut. Right, on we go to race 4, the start of the pick 6. The fillies and mares 68 handicap. It's 2,000 meters. 5 past 2 is the off time here. No scratchings, but no blinkers now for number 5, Sacred Valley. That's a change that's come through this morning. No blinkers. Number 7, Mariposa. Alamites in front, Unshot behind. Right, 5 to 2 joint favorites. Number 1, Mirren, and number 3, Saint Anastasia. Number 4, Stunning Kitten, is 7 to 2. 5, Sacred Valley, 4 to 1. And 2, Seconda Errore is at 6 to 1. Again, a small field, lowly rated race. I know Neil likes something in the race. What do you like?
Yeah, I'm taking on the favorites again here. I'm going number 5, Sacred Valley, as my first selection. From Saint Anastasia, big run of the daughter of Master of My Fate, and then number 1, Mirren. I went for Stunning Kitten last time, ran a really good race for us as our value bet. But today, for me, Sacred Valley, Rachel Vinica with a 1.5 kilograms off for Paul Peter. Good last 2 efforts. There were 2 winners from that funky music form line. This last run, Halloween's 1, Princess Philippa's 1, blinkers off, 55.5 kilograms, drawn 5. And the way the tracks are running at the moment, I think we'll find Sacred Valley right near the front there. And of course, the question mark again is the 2,000 meters. But I think with that weight, Sacred Valley, some good value from a very good run from St. Anastasia last time. And then Mirren. In that order, Nico, for me, 5, 3, and 1.
You do have to go back to realize St. Anastasia's last run. We did tip her as our price booster last run. She drifted from 8 to 1 to 10 to 1. But you'll remember, Lyall, that Samanga Kamala was meant to ride her. Got stood down, and Nathan Klink got the ride. And there was a late flurry for her in the closing stages. She should have won, actually. The point is that we're sticking with St. Anastasia. But like you, I give Sacred Valley a chance. I'm not sure, though. I've just had, this was declared at 10 past 7, the no blinkers this morning. I don't know without those blinkers, though. I'm a bit concerned that the blinkers have come off.
I hear you.
There's obvious reasons for it, but she's run her better races with them on. I don't know. So I'm prepared to give her a chance because she was definitely a danger for me to St. Anastasia. So we're on the same page. What about Mirren? What about Mirren and Strayed?
Yes. Well, it's the 60 kilograms, obviously the issue, up 4 points from that second last time, but it was a good run. And should run well here this afternoon again. I think Mirren will be a bit of luck. does have Mr. Pierce Stradham aboard, but I did prefer the other two. But it
Yeah.
wouldn't be a shock if Miriam wins.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on 3 and 5 in that race for race number 4, the start of the pick 6 with 1, the danger behind them. On we move to race 5. It's a merit-rated 74 handicap. Start of the first jackpot over a mile, runs at 20-3. Let's just update the changes in this 5th race. Just like to update them as we go through the card. No changes yet in race 5. Here, Electric Gold, Rachel Veneker rides for Paul Peter. That's the favorite, bidding for the hat trick at 2-1. Number 1, Bay Suye is at 28-10. And then 2 runners at 5-1. Number 4, Indus Knight, and number 6, Stolen Thunder. 6-1, about 7, Silly Fella. Who's your top one?
Well, for the first time this afternoon, I'll be going for the favorite, number 5, Electric Gold. And Nico, excuse me, I went through a lot of form lines here. And if you go through a horse, Lashawes, there are a lot of chances in this race. If you go, literally, we use that one line horse there. Electric Gold, nice form, improving with each and every run. There have been winners from that last form line. There were 3 winners from the maiden win, drawn to 55 kilograms, going along nicely. Obvious chance. Number 7, Silly Fella. I have respect for this one. We got Lashawes in that form line as well, behind on that Golden Tune form line. There's a form update, ran 3 lengths behind Castle Corner on Thursday for the Inform Fani Bronkhorst stable. Number 4, Indus Knight. Good, not a bad run behind Vanderbilt last time. Also has Lashawes 9 lengths behind on that Calibre Crest win. So, I mean, if you like Baysier, for instance, a horse like Indus Knight has got Lashawes 9 lengths behind him. And then, of course, Baysier and Secret is ours. So, tricky. I'll go number 5, Electric Gold, or pretty much the whole field, Nico.
Yeah, so interesting that you say that, because this race I looked at carefully with regard to tactics. So Veneker is obviously going to go to the front on Electric Gold from a 2 draw. And she'll dictate the matters. Can she keep going? Well, she's got basically the lowest weight in the race, 55 kilos. The horse that has always been good to me on this show is Bay Suye. Because I've read him really well. He absolutely loves this track. He grows another leg on this track. His very first run in Joburg, when he moved up from Cape Town, was on this course. And I remember calling him that day, and he moved up to nearly win the race. It was a surprising run because it was such a good run. But you look at the course form, 3 runs for 2 winners in the second. He's got that monster straight him on. I don't for the life of me think that even with 62 kilos, he's a massive runner. So I like you, think Electric Gold's the horse to beat. So I agree with that, but I just think that for me, I'm worried about Baysier. I made it between those 2. I know that Neil fancies a bit of Stolen Thunder. I have to include what he said to me earlier on today. He liked Stolen Thunder to beat Silly Fella on their last meeting together, which was back in July, about a month or so ago, when there was, I think, 4 lengths between them. And I think there was, what was there between them? There was
2 kilograms.
2 kilograms.
2 kilograms.
So if you like Stolen Thunder, Silly Fella has to be with it as well. But I made it between Electric Gold and Base. Yes, I do agree with you. I think Electric Gold's the horse to beat.
Okay, good.
Okay, let's move on to race 6, 10 past 3, the off time of this Fillies and Mares 83 handicap. It's over a mile. In the 6th race, no scratchings and no equipment changes. Right, let's hear what you have to say. I know what you like, because you gave me your numbers for a supposed jackpot 2, if we were going to take a jackpot 2 today. So Gilded Butterfly is the favorite. Opened up 14-10, is 12-10 now. The Stable Companion is Quiet Rebellion, number 6 at 9-2. And sandwiched between them is number 1, Flame Flower, at 33-10. Again, very closely matched Fillies and Mares contest over a mile, but you like the favorite again here.
Yes, again, I'm going for the favorite. Second time on the card. I think it's between numbers 2, 1, and 6 in that order. Gilded Butterfly, very consistent, very good comeback run behind Halloween last time. Form lines are working out very well. I mean, Nico, if I read them to you, the McKenna Sky form line, 3 winners. The Highborn Lady run, 5 winners. Elusive Swan, 3 winners. The Rose of Bashar, 3 winners. The Maiden, 2 winners. So she's doesn't have mugs behind her. And I think she'll go very close with the very much informed Kabelo Matsanyani. she was one of my potential bankers on the card. I do respect Flame Flower, and those form lines are not bad either. And with the 1.5 kilograms off the back here, that could be a big draw here. Tries the course for the first time, certainly has ability, and that to me would be the biggest danger. And then finally, number 6, Quiet Rebellion, who, if you go to the form lines here, was 6 lengths behind Gilded Butterfly and is 4 kilograms better off. So theoretically, my selection should be Quiet Rebellion, and hence I'm tipping them 2, 1, and 6.
Right. So here is the case in point. This is Stuart Pettigrew, who's got 3 runners today, 2 in this race, 1 in a later race that we'll come to. Here are Stuart Pettigrew's stats for the new season. You ready?
Yes, ready.
7 runners. First, fourth, first, second a short head.
And first, yeah, in race 6.
And first and second, and first and second.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Unbelievable. It is probably the best start to a season anyone has had ever. Certainly out of 7 runners. That is incredible. I mean, I just incredible. It's 5.
And add the fact that
Cabello
Battagnani's probably won 10 or 11 already as well. So
so he's going along pretty well. So like you, I thought again Gilded Butterfly was the horse to beat. The one I'm worried about is the one is number 1 Flame Flower because of the weight adjustment here. Now we know the well-documented Venica getting the 1.5 kilos off. I think this race and probably the race before will prove to me what it will lay out really what the season holds for that allowance.
Got you.
From a commentating perspective, I'm happy I'm calling today because I'm going to judge the Venica 1.5 kilo allowance and the effectiveness thereof on races 5 and 6 today. So I'm going to use that as the test. So for me, Flame Flower was a danger. I don't think that there's that much difference between them, but I don't think Gilded Butterfly has achieved the record she should have. I think that things have gone against her in races, but the way that she accelerates and the 1600 on this track, I think is tailor-made for her. So I made it very much 1 and 2. I'm prepared to chuck in the 6 Quiet Rebellion because Neil liked it a bit and because it's Pettigrew. So I think that'll be on the premises, but I'm going 2 and 1 in this race 6, and I'm agreeing with you there. Okay.
We agree.
So race 7 is up next at 20-4, the middle stakes over 1,450 meters, and changes here in race 7. You can scratch number 6, Suited Connector, that was taken out earlier on this morning. Suited Connector is scratched. And the other change, no, there is no other change in this one. So just the scratching here. Hence the reason why there's been a few adjustments in the betting. Admiral Dooley is Stuart Pettigrew and Cabello Mazzignani. 3-1, Admiral Dooley. 33-10, number 7, Cotinos, who's a big favorite of ours here on the channel. 9-2, number 1, Little Prince. And then it is 7-1 and better. Sorry, Sound of Hounds, I forgot number 8. Down at the bottom for Caden Brewer is at 4-1. So 4-1, the third favorite, Sound of Hounds. Right. What do you think of the top 2 in the market here?
For me, it's a match race, Nico, between number 3, Admiral Dooley, and number 1, Little Prince. And just a stat for the viewers out there, over 1,450 meters, 60% of the winners come from draw 1 to 4. And both of the 2 top favorites, they are drawn in the top 4. Admiral Dooley, we don't need to harp on here. Stu Pettigrew, Cabello Mazzignani, drawn well. Form lines are working out very well. When Admiral Dooley beat Dawn of a New Era, he had your Bayesier 4.5 lengths behind on that run, just to show you what a nice form line that was. I think this is a massive runner. Also likes the course and the distance. Little Prince, obviously respect. Tie best weighted. Rachel Vinegar for Paul Peter. So again, we've got Rachel with her 1.5 here. And if you go to that Bayesier form line, obviously Baysier's come through in 1, Wafif's come in 1, Bold Resolve, Bloomington, 6 winners from the maiden win. The last 2, we must mention that they were Group 2 and Group 3s against Safe Passage and Aragosta.
Absolutely.
So classy, Son of Elusive Port, classy. For me, 3 from 1 and then Cotinos. But I would almost be brave enough to put 3 and 1 in the pick 6 and jackpot alone.
Yeah. So we've got that pedigree factor, which is the X factor, shall we call it, which raises it a bar or two. Admiral Dooley, I think, is our common horse here. Again, Cabello is, well, you know, we continue going on about, but the point is that Admiral Dooley, I think, is the horse to beat. Little Prince is coming back off a break. The last run was 6.5, 7 months ago. Ran in those feature races in Joburg. We've got to say Cotinos, like you said, the draw is probably against it. Drawn 6 now with the stretching. So the draw is against him, but he's very capable horse on his day. And I think he'll be a better horse as time goes on. The fact that he's been gelded at the end of last year and he's just come off a win at this track over this trip and beat a good horse in Toffers. So we're going to mention
Nick, I wanted to mention that form line there. There have been 8 runners from that form line and not 1 winner.
Yeah.
So it hasn't worked out particularly well. Hence why I'm sort of making it a distant third.
Yeah. I'm not a big one on form lines personally, but I'm prepared to accept that. But I do think it has to be included. As I say, it's one of our horses always on the show. Okay, let's go to race 8. Okay. 4:10. It's the merit rated 84 handicap. It's a sprint 1,000 meters. Here you can scratch number 7, Stormy Seas is out. And number 2, Bronco Blitz. The blinkers are now off. The favorite is Drogier, number 4, at 12-10. Rachel Veneker for Paul Peter. 3-1, number 1, Big Eyed Girl. 4-1, Twice as Splendid. And 5-1, Triavana. As I mentioned, I did speak to Janssen van Vuren, and he said that he has not got Big Eyed Girl better in the last 6 months. So she's working really well, but she does tend to bleed and she chokes up, as you can see there. She's got respiratory noises. She has all kinds of issues, but she's drawn 1. Keegan DeMello will be hungry off his break. He had a break and he's come back now from the weekend. He'd be hungry to get his name on the board here today in Joburg. Drogier is the favorite that he has to beat. That she has to beat because she has to ship 3 kilos to him.
Yeah, there's only 3 horses in the race for me. Number 4, Drogier, the 1, Big Eyed Girl, and Twice as Splendid. If you look at Drogier here on another thief form line, there really is not much between Twice as Splendid and Drogier. So those two both come into the reckoning big time. But if you think the 1450 is bad, 1,000 meters, 63% of the races are won from the top 3 draws. So the draw over this 1,000 is imperative. And that is swaying me towards Big Eyed Girl. Even though she's got 60, she's got Keegan aboard, drawn 1. That last run, by the way, Twice as Splendid and Big Eyed Girl finished literally on top of each other. So if you go 1, 3, and 4, to me, there's not much between them at all. And because of the draw and the speed, I think Big Eyed Girl could be the right one.
Yeah. I think the draw may sway it over there. I think that she's ultra quick on her day, provided that she comes back in good order. I think she is the horse to beat. The value may be with her there, Big Eyed Girl for Janssen van Vuren and Keegan DeMello. As you said, I remember pointing out to you every time you've liked Twice as Splendid when it's gone over further than a sprinting trip that I don't think it likes further than 1,200. I've mentioned that on a couple of occasions. I think it's a 1,200 tops horse, and I think it'll go well today. In my head, I have 1 and 3 as my 2 horses ahead of Drogier. Triavana is interesting because the comment from the stable was that it'll need it. So I think that it's coming off the record. And the comment for Triavana is that he'll need it. So they're not too confident on him today. Okay, so that's race 8. I think, again, we're both in Big Eyed Girls camp. Let's go Big Eyed Girl to beat 3 and 4 or 4 and 3. Correct. In those orders, or in that order, rather. The last race of the day runs at 20-5. It's a merit rated 66 handicap over 1,200 meters, race 9. 2 scratchings. Number 4, VAR Park, and number 7, Musical Kiss are out. Number 9, Coca Hill's got blinkers. And number 11, Princess Queen, has only a front set of alamites. Number 8's the favorite, Irrevocable Dream, at 11-10 from 2-1. This is because it did run second last week against Lulu's Boy. It ran a cracking run, only beaten half a length. So that is the favorite. Number 1, Twice as Wild, 22-10. And then after that, it's basically 10-1 and better, bar those, because VAR Park is now out the race. What did you think of the last?
All right, promise not to laugh at me, Nico. My first selection is number 9, Cocoa Hill at 16-1. Daughter
Right.
of Cape Town Noir, Nathan Klink, Fani Bronkhorst, drawn 3, blinkers on. I think this is going to be a big runner here this afternoon at a really big price.
16-1.
You like it as well, Nico? I see you nodding.
No, I'm just saying it's 16-1. It's my kind of price.
Yeah, I like it. Then my second selection, quite a clear selection, is number 1, Twice as Wild. This is a massive runner here today. Drawn 2. I don't know going about the draws here. Capello Mazzaniani, Grand Maroon has given some confidence. She has won over course and distance. Yes, she's got 60 kilograms, but she's been running to stronger. And if you go, Nico, to Irrevocable Dreams penultimate run, there were excuses, must be said, but was 5 lengths behind Twice as Wild and is half a kilogram worse off. So for me personally, I'm going 9 from 1 and then only number 8.
Okay, so you're going Cocoa Hill as the outsider of the day for Lyall. There, Cocoa Hill's got blinkers on. Funny enough, Neil and I both mentioned the other Fani Bronkhorst runner, Dancing Dora, who's a similar price because of the booking of Piers Stratum. We thought that the booking of Stratum was pretty interesting. I know that he's got a couple for Fani, but we thought that Fani Bronkhorst horses needed to be included over here. But we both like.
My problem is, Nico.
Yeah.
Just to, sorry for interrupting. The Dancing Dora is held by Twice as Wild, not once but twice.
Yes.
And she's drawn 7, whereas Twice as Wild drawn 2. So yeah, maybe Piers Stratum, he'll have to work his magic to beat number 1.
Absolutely, but there's always got to be that Stratum factor when you include Stratum in your presentation. So he is one to include that. But I think our common horse here would have to be Twice as Wild, 9-4 ahead of Irrevocable Dream. We think that's more of the value than the favourite here, with Lyall also siding with Cocoa Hill. Blinkers on today. That could be the key with number 9, Cocoa Hill, at a big price. Right, Lyall, that takes care of racing today. As I say, we'll all be working out there today, so more information to follow during the course of the afternoon, but looking forward to it. And that's a break from Joburg Racing, I think, until next week.
Yeah, next week, Tuesday. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, absolutely. So look forward to speaking to you then. Until then, have a good day and catch up with you. I see you wearing your jacket today. You're a bit cold?
Yes, I'm a bit of a patch today. It is a little cold this morning, Nico, I must admit. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I noticed that. The first thing I noticed was Lyall Cooper in a puffer jacket. Unheard of. There you go. Looking forward to see you there, Lyall. Take it easy and all the best.
See you there. Thank you, Nico.
Thanks.